the Thursday roundtable session. Of course, I'm going to be recording this because of the mix to make up for Monday. So today we're going to actually go over the event dialogues, part 2, the closer. If you want to know what's to be done in between the grabber dialogue and this dialogue, the closer, then go to the recent marketing webinar section. I'm sorry, that's going to have the dialogue for the grabber, but go to the marketing university because that's going to have the dialogue for the massage therapists. Okay, that's what's in between the grabber and the closer. All right, and so I'm going to talk that this is straight from the ultimate level or ultimate course pack. I'm going to go through that. I'm going to give you my version of the same thing, but I wanted to be able to cover exactly what's in the book, and then just give you a couple of variations, a couple of things that I do differently. That'll be verbal and in the recording. Okay. Any questions you have, pop them on there because the people that are watching this are probably going to have the same questions. So, all right, let's get going. So I first did a little bit of recap, on the grabber dialogue, just so we can have some refresher. So after they're done with the survey, I'm just going to breeze through this. Guys, if you need this, pause it in the recording. Go back and watch the grabber dialogue, whatever it is you need to do to get it, but I cannot hang out on this stuff we've already reviewed. I'm going to briefly go over it. So after they get the stress survey filled out, you're going to read back symptoms that they indicated or circled as if you're just thinking out loud. Okay? So tension across top shoulders, headaches, migraines. That's a lot of stuff. That's how I read that. That's how I do that. Okay? So there you go. I just manifested that exact thing for you. So yeah, so you read it back to them, and then you say that's a lot of stuff. So, and then you ask them. So if you could choose one of these, which one would it be? So if you could get rid of one of these, which one would it be, or which one would you choose? If they already wrote in there what they would like to get rid of, then I ask that as a statement, and I say, so if you could get rid of one of these symptoms, it'd be the headaches? And they say yes. So I just need their agreement that that is what they want to get rid of. That is what I need. I need them to confront it and admit it and tell me that that's what they want to get rid of. Okay? So that's what I do if they already wrote it in. But if they didn't, I ask it just how it's written. So if you could get rid of one of these symptoms, which one would it be? Right? And after that, give them acknowledgement. Yeah, it's no fun. Absolutely. Something genuine, honest, from the heart, from just it's just not something real. Okay? All right. Now you're going to ask them a few questions about the symptom. This is important to ask them. Do not deviate from these dialogues at all. Word for word, verbatim, put them in. Okay? When's the last time you had your headaches? Or headache? What were you doing when you last got your headache? How many days per week do you get your headaches? How many years have you been getting your headaches? Okay? So in between those, especially the times per week and the time, how many years, I'm going to do some math and figure out exactly how many that is. All right? I'm going to properly ruin them on the number of times they're getting that symptom. The number one thing I've noticed in all the coaching is that these numbers are not being said. It's not being done. I add telling them how many it is in a year. In the book, it says just the last section. It says like after you say how many years, then you do the math and tell them once. I like to do it where I say, so how many days per week do you get your headaches? Like, 4 times a week. Wow. That's 208 headaches a year. That's a lot. How many years have you been getting headaches? 4 times a week. Oh, I'm sorry, 4 years. Wow, Mike, that's 832 headaches in 4 years. That's not normal. They've got to hear you, truth and love, confronting and saying that it is not normal. It's not a good thing. It's not normal to keep. It's not normal to have. Whatever variation they give you, I just deal with it. Blah 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 blah. All that stuff doesn't matter. Pain is a problem. No matter what they say, you stand on the fact that that truth and that reality, no matter what they tell you, and you stay firm on that. Okay? And after they answer each one of these, it's important to give them strong acknowledgments after they answer each question. It just means it's an appropriate way to let someone know that you have heard and understood what they said. Do not say okay. If you say okay, it's subconsciously saying it's okay for them to have it. Okay? You want to make sure that it's, yeah, I understand. Or, yeah, I hear you. Absolutely. You can't say gotcha. Some people have a problem with that because it sounds like a catch, sounds like salesy, whatever. I don't care. If you don't like that, don't say it. But the point is you have to give them a very strong acknowledgement on what they said in answering each question. You got to let them know you're there. You cannot be thinking about the close when you're doing this session or this part. Can't do it. Won't work. Okay? So for more details on all this stuff, refer to the part 1 of this. So after question 3, I did that. I say, wow, that's 208 headaches a year. That's a lot. After question 4, they said 4 years. Wow, Mike, that's 832 headaches in 4 years, man. That's not normal. Your reaction has to be different than their realization of it, or their reaction, or their viewpoint of it, or anybody else, or any other doctor they said is okay, whatever. You've got to have that different reaction to the symptoms they're having, and have a true negative reaction. We're not trying to make people feel bad. We're trying to draw attention to the fact that it is not okay and it is not normal. And you cannot do that being all nice and polite and happy-go-lucky and stuff like that. I'm not saying to be mean. I'm not saying to be nasty. It's just the fact that you've got to confront it. Because they aren't. You've got to help them to see that it isn't good. All right? So here comes some of the math here, right? Quick recap. So this table right here, this is the number of times per week, as it says right there. Okay? And then this is how many times in 1 year that they're going to get that. Like how many times in 1 year they're going to have those symptoms if they have it this many times per week. So 2 times a week is 104, 3 is 156, 4 is 208, 5 is 260, 6 is 312, and 7 is 365. Okay? In figuring this out in my head, I put the number per week here. And in my head, this is visually what I'm seeing. Except there'd be a line connecting these two, which I didn't put in the last one either, but it's a nuance. So the number of times per week that are in a year are 52. So any number that they give me here, I'm going to plug in right here and multiply by 52. But I'm going to do cross multiplication. So I've got 5, let's say, 5 up here. 5 times 50 is 250. So 250 would be down here. 5 times 2 is 10. Plus 10 is 260. I got 260. 5 times a week is 260 times in 1 year. Okay? And then, this is the third question right here. This is the fourth question right here. Number of years, and then the number in 1 year separated out. Okay? So, 260 for our example. So 200 right here, and 60 right here. Then I cross multiply out and again. But whatever number I put for the number of years. Okay? So whatever you want that to be. That could be 2 years. You know, so if it's 2 years, you know, it's 200 times 2 is 400, right? And then 60 times 2 is 120, so 520 in 2 years. Which is actually easy when you look at it. You just do the 60, you know, 2 and 2 is 4, and then 60 and 60 is 120. So there you go, 520. Could have done it without that. So, but anyway, just an example, right? So this is visually what I do in my head to get there real quick. Okay. Next slide is going to show you a breakdown of that as the example I said in the when I was doing the dialogue there. I did 4 times a week for 4 years. So that's the breakdown of that. 208 in 1 year, which if you go back to the chart, that shows that. So going back to the chart, there it is, 208. And then now I'm going to, after that, for 4 years, 200 times 4 is 800. 4 times 8 is 32. And then I'm going to add those back together. I'm going to get 832 in 4 years that they've had that symptom. I don't care what it is. Doesn't matter what the symptom is. Even if it's the obscure one. Anything they circle on that stress survey is not okay and not normal. End of story. Not a normal thing to have. No matter what they say, stand on that. Okay? Alright, now kind of getting into the close. Alright, so you've gone through you've gone through these dialogues with them. You know, the massage therapist now is going to have them kind of do some things. I got a question coming in here. Did a teacher event yesterday, and the majority of them said as soon as the massage was done, they had to get back to class before the close could be done. Suggestions? Yes, call them and do it over the phone. By ruining them on the symptoms that they circled again, basically go through the beginning dialogue again with them, but on the phone, to bring their reality back to that symptom and back to that time of you going over it, and then close them over the phone that way. Teachers are covering for each other a lot when you do these, not to mention the fact that Massage a Teacher Day during the week for a Teacher Appreciation Week, which is really we do the whole month of May. That is the worst month to do them, but the most bang for the buck because you can do a ton of them because it's Teacher Appreciation Month. So at the beginning of the school year, go back and do a back to school bash at some of them. Some maybe you haven't been to at all, kind of a fresh look at it. You're going to have a lot better results with it because they're not going to be as crazy busy with testing and with all the things they have to do to get the room ready for the summer and stuff like that. But teachers are some of the flightiest people because they think of themselves fourth. The kids they teach, their own significant other, their teacher, the kids, their own kids, and then themselves. So sometimes you have to be a little bit more matter of fact and direct with them, but you don't always get a chance to do the close. So just collect the surveys and call them is what I do. Yep. So I just, again, on the phone, I bring them back to the reality of it at the event by going through the beginning questions again to bring them back to that. Because as soon as that event's over, guys, their awareness is going down fast. Their awareness is up here at the event. It's not a good thing. It's a problem. It's not good. I need to deal with it. And there it goes. So, all right, Matt, so not sure what you mean by that. You just put a series of numbers in there. But okay. So moving forward here. All right. Now, the massage therapist is done. Again, you want that dialogue, go to the Marketing University, and there's a video called Getting Your Massage Therapist Grooved into the Events. Underneath it, as a sub-caption, it says Massage Therapist at Events. So, after they're done with their massage, you have to work out a signal with that therapist to know that, okay, time to wrap up. You can either do this, you can do this, you can pull your ear, you can do some variation of some baseball thing. I don't know, whatever you want to do, right? Some sort of signal to know that they are done and they need to wrap up in 20 seconds. They pick their head up out of the chair. There you are. How was your massage? Or, how did it go? How do you feel? 2 variations I like to do. You know, sometimes if I'm in the middle of a crazy event, I'll say one or the other. They're both kind of the same thing. But you got to get something down verbatim, word for word, before you can add other things. Okay, so I'm just giving you a couple of variations because there's a couple things differently you could do, but I want you guys to stick to what this says. If you've never done it before, stick to this first. But so how was your massage? Oh, it was great. Yeah, you look relaxed. Karen's got some great hands, huh? This allows the massage therapist to say thank you after the compliment and then respond with, yeah, you know, Joe had some tight shoulders and tight low back. That's got to be matter of fact. If you have any kind of if your therapist has the attitude that's silly, I don't want to do that, blah 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 blah, waste them. They don't need to be at your event. Okay, just pulling the band-aid off for you guys. That should not be rehearsed. That should not be salesy. That should not seem that way. because the massage therapist should already be able to talk to them and show them that they've got a problem. If you're a massage therapist and you just want to sit there and do fluff and buff and not talk to people, then go work at a spa. Don't do chair massage events. Period. Okay? Don't do it. And don't let your therapist do it. Because they should be able to identify with the therapist or the client and say, and point out tight spots. This should be an automatic thing for a therapist to want to do. This is something they should already do intrinsically as being a proper massage therapist. Okay? The well-being of that person should be the forefront of their mind, and they wouldn't have got into it if they didn't want that. But the idea is that they need to point out tight spots, raise awareness, create mystery, and actually tell them some things they found so you can hear. This part can be in or out. It does not make. Let me be careful how I say this. If this isn't done, it's not going to destroy the event. Okay? The grabber dialogue and your closer dialogue is the number one thing that will make it or break it. Now, a massage therapist saying the wrong thing or not doing it at all can cause problems. But just a little side thing I wanted to plug in there. But so yeah, Joe's got some tight shoulders and tension in his low back. And then I'm back to the marketer. Wow, that's kind of funny. That's actually a couple of the things you circled on the stress survey. So that's really interesting. See, I'm creating the reality that this isn't normal. What they found in the stress survey is what the massage therapist pointed out, and without any kind of interference on that, just should naturally come up. Then it gets to the close. This is what it is in the book. I'll give you a slight variation verbally. It's not written, so you have to record it, pause it, whatever you need to do to get the variation I teach. But or set up a call, whichever you want to do. All right. So Mike, you told me you'd like to get rid of your headaches, right? Yeah, I did, absolutely. So if we could help you figure out what is causing your headaches, would you let us help you? If you do the grabber dialogue correctly and they see that it's a problem, they will say yes, or I think so, or yeah, I think I would, or I'd be interested, or they give you some sort of acknowledgement and variation of what I said to let you know, yes, I would like to take a look at that. Okay? In the book it says, so if I could help you figure out what is causing your headaches or your neck pain or whatever, would you let me help you? As actually what it says, would you let me? So if I could help you to find out what is causing your headaches, would you let me? Is what it says in the book. We suggest they're going to have to do other things. Okay? This is a nuance. Not that big a deal between the two. It's still the same communication. Okay? That's the only reason I changed it up a little bit from this. Okay? Just a different word. You say yes. Yeah, I think I would. Whatever. Great. I can make a special arrangement for you to come into our office for a consultation, chiropractic evaluation, report of findings, and a 30-minute massage. And because we teamed up with your company, it's totally free. Got a question coming in here. Hold on a second there. All right. Would you say it is more effective to have 2 or 3 people doing the event because the person gets 2 to 3 people acknowledging their problem and making it more real that there's a problem? No, because that'll overdo it. It'll look like you're trying to rehearse or convince, probably. But since you brought that up, one therapist, one marketer, one massage therapist. You take two massage therapists, take 2 marketers. One person's the grabber, one person's the closer. 1-to-1 ratio all the time. 1 marketer, 3 massage therapists? No, not going to work. Okay, you're gonna have a lot of trouble keeping up with everything if you do that. 1-to-1 ratio, no matter what. Okay. So there's the closed dialogue that's from the book. I don't call it. There's no package in there. There's nothing wellness boost. None of that. That's not that you can't say that or that it's bad to say that. It's just this is what's in the book. So if I teach you or give you something slightly different, the overall purpose and intention behind every single variation of this you could hear is exactly the same. There's no deviation from the purpose of what's trying to be communicated. Excuse me. So we gotta keep that in mind. But this is just kind of more matter of fact. I like it because it's little less like a line. It's just a little bit more matter of fact, things like that. But this is what the book teaches. Get this verbatim, word for word down. Change it any point you want after that, but it's got to be the same purpose. You can't change certain words and replace them with words that don't communicate the same thing, okay? So if you have a question on what you want to actually say, let me know. But if you want to be safe, word for word, verbatim, do not deviate. And this is because not everybody can just off the cuff say the same things without saying the same words. So you need a basis to go on. You need a stable datum to work off of so that you can have that variation, or it can ebb and flow a little bit, right? But you can't do that until you own a process and a system. Consistency, right? So there we go. I'm just going to delete a couple of these questions, make sure I like to see it clear so I didn't miss any. Because I want to make sure I get anything you guys have questions on. So hesitate, don't type in if you're wanting to, just because I'm erasing. All right, cool. Done. All right, moving on here. So the only catch is that I have sometimes for this week and next week. Variation of this. Now, let's just say I just said the last thing. Now, and because we teamed up with your company, it's totally free. It's actually part of our donations because we're here as the Doctors of Health and Wellness. Now, the only catch is I have some times for this week and next week. Slight variation. Now, the only catch is you can only use this once, and I only have 20 spots over the next couple weeks available. Now, before I set aside time, I just want to let you know that the first visit is about 45 minutes, and will be the consultation, evaluation, x-rays if necessary. Then on the second day, you get a report of what was found, if anything, and then you get a gift card loaded with 30 minutes of massage. I'm so used to saying that. Then you get a 30-minute massage. But that should be more like then you're scheduled with one. Like, it doesn't mean you're going to actually get it on the day two, because you may not be able to make that happen. If you can, great. It's fine. But if you can't, then you need to make sure you communicate that, and it's a little bit different. They need to know what the visit is, essentially, is what that looks like. Okay? Today, the first day is this, second day is this, then you get this. For you, it could be a gift card for Starbucks. And then we give you a gift card loaded with your favorite Starbucks drink. Or then we give you a gift card loaded with your favorite Jamba Juice. Or then we give you a gift card loaded with $10 in gas. Whatever you guys give. There's a couple different things people do, and find one that makes sense and do it. So what works better for you? Early in the week or later in the week? Probably early in the day. Or I'm sorry, I skipped ahead. So probably early in the week. Understood. So how about early in the day or later in the day? Probably later in the day. Okay, great. Well, I have Tuesday at 4 or I have Wednesday at 4:30. Which of those works best for you? Thursday or Tuesday at 4. Okay, perfect. So I have you down for Tuesday at 4. Oh, what would prevent you from arriving at your scheduled time? Or is there anything that could is there anything that could prevent you from arriving at your scheduled time? Is there anything that could come up that could prevent you from arriving at your scheduled time? All the same thing, 3 different versions, right? You want to make sure you have that ask them that at some point, okay? And then, great, see you then, because they say they're fine. So here's your paper fund. That's the intake form. You're not giving them a PGC. You're not giving a gift card. Leave those at the office. Okay? You're not giving you're not giving a little reminder card like this big for them to throw away or lose. You're giving them the intake form, the paper fund. Paperwork. Say paperwork if you want. I don't care. But the idea is to let them know this is serious. This is a medical thing. This isn't just a fluff and buff. This isn't just some Pamper thing. We're here to help you to figure out what's causing your symptoms. It's a little more than that, right? So you can bring this with you. So great. See you there. Here's your paper fun. You can bring this with you completed, or come a few minutes earlier and do it then. Have a great day. The key here is to drill this script until you have it down. Also, drilling with your massage therapist is a vital part of this. If you vary the script, you won't get the proven results, which is more than 50% of the people at the event scheduled for day one. And 50% or more show up. Any variation of this cannot guarantee those specific results. But you also have to have the proper delivery. Okay? And that's a little bit different. Don't have time to go through all that and every little variation of that, but you have to also deliver it properly. So I got a question coming in. How far out should I schedule? Right now I have all the slots I've been given filled for 2.5 weeks. 12 weeks. 12 per week is about max until a new patient educator completes training in about a month. Do some more internal promotions to be able to fill in the gaps if people miss, because you're going to get people that'll miss if it's more than 2 weeks out. You need to stay open later, and you need to have staff stay there later. You need to move around your schedule. Everybody needs to take a look at that and accommodate any other slots that are needed or wanted. Okay? You got to open up for new people. If you put a cap on it and keep that cap on it, all you're going to have is a cap, and you're going to be frustrated as a marketer because you are so limited. Never put an intentional cap on the marketing. Don't do that. So, if possible, move the schedule around so you can open up more slots. Sounds like because you're going to open up to get a patient educator in process so you can have somebody else to do day 1s and day 2s. That'll clean it up to give you more spots. So move forward in that action. But just for general speaking, everybody else on here, you've got to accommodate the new people. Okay? That comes from your senior talking to front desk to stay late 2 days a week, 3 days a week, whatever is needed, whatever needs to happen. If you have an event where you know people are going to get off at 6 and you're only open till then, you need to be able to stay open later to accommodate those people, or the entire event is going to be a waste. So you've got to accommodate what is needed and wanted. But that means you have to approach the staff. Hey, I got an event coming up in 2 weeks. They all get off at 5:30. Everybody. So we need to set aside some times that are different and later for the next 2 weeks to accommodate these people, so that way we can make this go right. And you meet with each staff member that's appropriate, the senior, have meetings, and you just get that coordinated. The more communication, the better you can have with that. Okay? So there you go. Very good question. So more than 3 weeks out, don't count on a lot of them showing. Okay? So the only kind of variation that I do, and I'm just going to say, and I'm not going to go back to what the other one says, when I say to them the same thing. So, Mike, I try to relate the symptoms back to them in the close a little bit. I try to say, so Mike, we found out on your stress survey that you were getting headaches 4 times a week for the last 4 years. So if we could help you figure out what might be causing your headaches, would you let us help you? Yeah, I don't think I would. Great. Well, I'm able to make a special arrangement with the doctor for you to come in for a consultation, a chiropractic evaluation, and then a report of what we found on your second visit, followed with a report, and then we give you a gift card loaded with 30 minutes of massage. Now, the only catch is you can only use it once, and I only have 20 spots over the next 2 weeks available. So what works better for you, early in the week or later in the week? And that was me trying to add what's in the book. What I say and what I typically teach is just as simple as this. So Mike, we figured out, or found out on your stress survey, you're getting headaches 4 times a week for the last 4 years. So if we could help you figure out what might be causing your headaches, would you let us help you? They say yes. Awesome. Well, we put together a wellness boost package, and what that package includes is a consultation and chiropractic evaluation on your first visit. followed on your second visit with a report of what we found, and then we give you a gift card loaded with 30 minutes of massage. But the only catch is you can't tip us. I'm sorry, I was trying to go to the drop-in dialogue. The only catch is you can only use this one time, and I only have 20 spots over the next 2 weeks available. So what works better for you? Early in the week or later in the week? And then everything else the same way, right? So I want to show you guys something that I use that helps me as far as something to give them when they book an appointment. And then I'm going to do some variations. We'll take a little bit of time and go through some objections. So I want you guys to type in one objection, each person that's on here that has one, that you get at the close. One objection that you get at the close, type it in. Because after I get done with these two things, I want to just go through them. So go ahead and get my list together for me, all right? And then we'll take a look at them. So give me your objection handlings that you need, and that'll be perfect for people watching it. So go ahead and type in some of the things you guys are dealing with, and we'll cover a few. You'll be surprised at how many of you guys will probably have the same things. But anyway, all right. So here is the reminder card. Okay. What you do with this is you actually take this as a half sheet of paper, and you staple it to the paperwork that they have to fill out. You fold that in half so that this is all you see. Okay? Right? So this is what you bring with you to the event. Ready to go to give to them when they book. Alright? Notice what it says here. So what I've done here is I've taken a screenshot of the Google map for an office. This is actually a doctor that I did an in-office delivery for in July of last year, and so this is just what it stuck with as the template. So that's theirs. That's where they're at. I'm not going to say the names on it, but you're going to put in here your office name, address, phone, things like that, and that's going to point to your exact location. The name, date of the appointment, time of the appointment. And then we look forward to seeing you at XYZ Wellness for your Wellness Boost package. The package is done over a couple of visits. This is going to, notice it's a reminder card. This used to say, congratulations on receiving one of our exclusive bodywork packages. This is an all-inclusive package, da 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 da. But I started to put on here exactly what they're going to get so that you don't have people coming in, showing up, saying, I'm here for my massage. Okay? Because read what it says here. On your first visit, you will receive a consultation and chiropractic health evaluation. On your second visit, you will receive a review of findings and the opportunity to schedule your massage upon availability with the therapist of your choice for a time that fits into your busy schedule. That way, you get somebody showing up saying, I'm here for my massage. You can ask, did you get one of these? They're going to say yes. You can say, great, can you pull it out for me? And we'll go through it. You read that paragraph to them. They now are like, oh, that makes sense. And then you don't have a PR nightmare. Not to mention the fact they need to bring it with them anyway, filled out. So, that's the one thing I wanted to go over with that. And just under somebody has somebody said they printed out on an envelope and then put the info inside. Be careful how much info you put in a packet. If it's sealable, if it's not something directly for them to look at and see visually as a reminder of their appointment, it's something else for them to lose because everything's inside the envelope and they'd have to pull it out to look at it. Be careful about that. But because you want to make sure. So, oh, perfect. You don't seal it. Okay, good. But just making sure that's just general for everybody. Make sure you don't put don't put a big old brochure and a list of like an FAQ, frequently asked questions section, and then a PGC, and then a reminder card, and then a couple of flyers for massage. Like, don't give them too much information to think with. They need one or two choices, one or two things to think with, and that's it. So be careful with that. But if you guys need this, just email me. But I'm going to be honest with you. Anytime on the last couple webinars when I say email me if you need something, I don't get a lot of emails. Now either everybody has it, which I doubt, or nobody's emailing me asking me for the tools that I'm teaching them to do well with. Okay? So whichever camp that is, if you need it, get it from me. Right? But how I did this right here is I have a Jing snippet tool. All right? And since it's on here, let's just play with it a second. I can record that. Can you guys see? Let me know. Can you guys see the sun I'm moving around right now? Can you see that? Should be able to see it now. I'm putting it in the screen of the view screen, right? So this is what it looks like, and I can put it wherever I want. Can you see it at the top of my screen here? Can you see that? Yes. Okay. Good. I want to make sure. So what happens is this. This will be cool to have on recording. Let's just take a quick photo of this right here, like I did. So what you're going to do is you're going to go just hover over it and click this. This just means capture, as you can see as the drop down right there. Click that, and see I got these nice little lines. Now notice I know I'm not moving anymore. I know it paused the screen there. Hopefully it doesn't make it get all messed up, but as long as you can hear me, we're good. So I'm going to click this, and I'm gonna select what I want to get a copy of, and then I got a copy. Right? Now that it's here, I can write text over it. You know, I can which is what I did here. I can highlight stuff and change the color. I can highlight all this, this, whatever. And I'm gonna totally doodle this thing like crazy. I can put arrows and draw arrows. I don't know why it made me do that. Let's do that, and there we go. Draw arrows everywhere. I can move them. Right? I can do all kinds of cool stuff with it. It's the Jing Snippet tool, is what it's called. It's free to download. There's a video that shows you how to do what I just did, but now you have it. So here's why I want to go over this, because you're gonna have to look up your location in Google Maps. No, Jing, not Jinx. It's a Jing, Jing snippet tool. Google it and you'll find it. It's free. Can you guys see this icon right here? As I'm pointing to my message bar, you should be able to. This is it right here. That's what it looks like. So it just looks like this right here when it's on your toolbar. Excuse me. So anyway, yeah, that's how I do it. So you're gonna have to take the go to Google Maps, look your location, and take a square of your office, with your office being in the center. You want to get it as close to what this looks like as possible. If you make it wide, it's going to condense it and make it look all funky and weird. You want to make sure you get as close to this perfect square as you can. Now it'll fill in. Basically, just make sure when you're on Google Maps, you get a square with your location in the center, and you'll be fine. And then you just left click it, and let's say this is Page Plus opened up. You left click the picture and then move it into here and let go, and it'll put it in there. And then you just move this stuff around to point to it, and you're good to go. So it's the Jing Snippet tool. That's what I use to take my screen captures. And now Windows has one, so you can go to the control panel and hit Find and type in Snippet tool or Screen Capture, and you'll have a tool in there already. I don't know if you can draw on it. I don't know. I've never used mine that's like on the Windows system, so I don't know how it works. I just know how Jing Snippet tool works because that's what I use. But that's how you get your image on here of maps of where you're located. So very good. And then one other thing was just to go over the flow of the event. Okay, you've seen this before. You want to control the flow of the event. If you have the event, go the day before, scope out where it's going to be, figure out who and where everyone's going to be placed, where they're going to come in, so you can control every part of this event. Going in, flying blind after you book it is not ideal, because then you have to cope, and then you have things that you can't control, and it gets a mess. Go beforehand and do a walkthrough, okay? So you can set it up for the best flow. People come in here, grab her, set of chairs, clipboards on it, then the other part of the room, like around the room, the massage therapist, and then the other part of the room is the closer. Set it up to where it has a flow to it. Okay, go beforehand to make that happen. But got the traffic flow coming in, pop-up banner. This would be more for like a health fair, but got your grabber. From the grabber, they go to the LMTs, and you got a boombox of music pointed to them, so they can't hear what you're talking about at the closer, and then they're out the door. You don't want these people to be standing by each other. If they do, don't have the consideration that's going to be a problem, or it will be. Okay? So that's it. So leaving that one up, let's go to some of these questions. Oh, I got to go up past everyone's yes, 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 yes. So let's go up to some of those. Okay, I have a chiropractor already. When were you last adjusted? About 2 months ago. So then you don't have a regular chiropractor. You're not on a corrective care program. That's what we do in our office because we want to fix the problems. We don't want to just band-aid them. Boom. To the point. Nothing is free. Things can be free, but there's always a cost. That's what I would have said. Someone's like, oh, nothing's free. Yeah, it's true that things can be free, but there's always a cost to it. In this case, the only cost is the time out of your day to come to show up, spend the time with the doctor to figure out what's going on with you, and then you can make a decision from there. That's the only cost to it. So I don't know how I'd really deal with that. Honestly, I kind of blow them off, but I only get tension between my shoulders during the school year. It doesn't change the fact that there's a reason and there's a problem there that is flaring up during the school year that needs to be looked at. Coming and going, only having it a certain amount of times doesn't change the fact that there's a root reason why that's happening. Our job in our office and what we like to do is figure out what that root cause is if we can. There's another thing that, remember, pain is a problem. Doesn't matter how often they get it. Doesn't matter if it comes and goes. Does not matter. Still it's an issue. Still it's a problem. Still there's something there going on that's causing it. Does not matter. Let's see. Those are the only two that I got. It looks like nobody else typed in. Let's see. Oh, somebody said move it down some. What was getting cut off? Sorry, Jamie, I just now saw that. What was getting cut off? The symbol? Because I can't. You're talking about the Jinx snippet tool or what? I'm not sure what you were talking about there. What about people who don't circle any of the symptoms on the stress survey? First of all, it still says health concern, so they're not concerned if they think it's normal. They're not going to circle it. Or they've done it before and they have other people coming out of the massage event saying don't circle anything because then they're going to talk about it and try to get you scheduled for an appointment. And if you don't circle anything, they won't be able to try to get you scheduled. You can just get your massage. Because people want to take full advantage of what you're doing because they're, being dishonest. That's one reason. Other reason, they don't think it's a problem. Now, if they don't do that, I ask them where they want their massage to focus on first. So what kind of massage do you like? Light, medium, or firm? Firm. Great. Any focus areas for the therapist? Yeah, my neck and my upper shoulders and my low back. Yeah, so why there? They just bother me a lot. They got a lot of tension and just kind of hurts. Great. Go ahead and circle neck pain, tension across the top of shoulders, and low back pain, please. Well, it doesn't really bother me that much. Well, you admitted that it bothers you because you had the massage therapist want to focus there, so that means it's a problem. So go ahead and circle that for me, please. They've got to confront the fact that it's a problem. Can't do it for them. That's what I would do, and that's what I would say. If it's like pulling teeth after that, then I just waste them. Mark the survey NQ. 5-minute massage. Thanks. See you later. Well, Jamie, if it was getting cut off, there's no other place I could really move it to stay inside for you to still be able to see it. Because even if I move it over here, it's going to get cut off a little bit. Because where it shows up, I can't leave it in the center there. It only will go to the upper right or somewhere around the frame of the screen. So I can't help you there. So you'll have to when you go to just get the Jinx snippet tool, just download it and it'll walk you through how to use it. How do you respond when someone states they already have a weekly or monthly massage time scheduled and that makes them feel better? I respond by telling them that's not fixing the underlying problem, that's helping them to feel better. But if they were ever to stop that massage, the pain would come back, which means that the reason they're getting the pain has nothing to do with muscles. Doesn't. Muscles start and end on bone. As a massage therapist, if I'm working on somebody till I'm blue in the face and they don't get any better, it's because it's a bone issue. People want to massage feels good. It feels great. People love massage. And I'm not making fun of that. I'm just saying that that's the viewpoint they have and that's the reality they have. So you have to make sure that they see the difference between muscles and bones. The fact that they're having tension chronically, that they're going to a massage therapist to fix, is because they have a misalignment somewhere in their entire body or somewhere in their hips, their spine, somewhere. So it doesn't matter if they get a massage all the time because that's not the reason they're getting the problems. That's what they're doing to fix it, but it's not going to fix it. So you have to kind of be careful about that a little bit. But if somebody gives me that, I'm usually a little bit more like, I'm really glad that you're doing something to handle that, but you were able to circle these things that you have, which means the massages are not helping. If the massage was the problem, here's what I would say. Say, Jane, I'm really happy you're doing that. That's like one of the best things you can do for your body. But the fact that you circled these symptoms means that the massage isn't keeping them away. You're still having them happen to you, which means the massage isn't your muscles and the massage isn't the reason you're having the symptoms. That's just what you're doing to help you feel better with them. But by the fact you still circled them, that means there's an issue that's different than massage related that's causing it. Because if massage was the answer, you wouldn't have circled the symptoms. Plain and simple. I don't have time, I'm busy all week. You got to call their bluff. Mike, I actually to you, Matt, it sounds like this isn't something you're interested in. That's totally fine. I can give your spot to somebody that might want to bring in a friend or spouse because the doctor's going to take 45 minutes for you specifically. And I only want to put people on the schedule that are serious about getting these symptoms looked at. So if that's not you, that's okay. So is this something you want to use? They'll say yes, or they'll say, yeah, go ahead and give it to somebody else. They don't have time because they don't make time. It's just like working out, Oh, I don't have time to work out. Have you confronted your schedule to make time and clean it up so that you can make time for that because it's worth it? Sometimes, guys, let me be honest with you. The things that you can say are not on the script. They're in human communication, telling them exactly what you want to say to them in truth and love, but without being mean or nasty or hurtful or offensive. Okay? Listen for something they say that you can pull the string on that just doesn't make sense. If somebody says, well, I get the normal headaches. Headaches aren't normal. Well, they're normal for me. Well, it doesn't matter if they're normal. They're not. It doesn't matter if they're common. They're not normal. Headaches are not. It's not a normal thing to have headaches. So when was the last time you had your headache? So you got to confront what they're saying. Bottom line is that. So call their bluff on that. Someone also didn't circle any of the symptoms, but at the end I scheduled them anyway. Is that okay? It's not going to hurt. Just answer this. Did that person show up? So Hannah, did that person show up when you did it? Did they come in? If they don't have any kind of realization, okay, we'll see if they come in. But since you said it was yesterday. So if they don't have any kind of realization on it being a problem and you don't ruin any symptoms, it's not about scheduling. That's the big thing, guys. I'm on the closer dialogue. The massage therapist, you guys are on here. This is recorded. But you know what? You cannot think about closing them and scheduling them until you're at the closer dialogue. The big deal is not getting them scheduled and on the books. It's not about just throwing a bunch of people on the schedule. When you're first in as a marketer, it's about quantity. Lots of events, lots of people on the books, lots of leads, lots of PGCs, lots of calls, quantity. outflow, consistency. Okay? That's okay to just put people on the books. But what's going to happen is you're going to start to notice the quality of it. People aren't showing up a lot. Show percentage tanks. It comes down. Whatever. You've got to hold people accountable at that event. It's not about putting quantity on the books at a certain point. That's when you first start. You got to look at quality at that point. Do they really want it? Are they serious? If you are not sure, ask them. You've got to put quality people on the books. They have to live or work local, have a full-time job, interested in the introductory offer, be 21 or older, have a health concern. Like, you can put health concern and interest in the offer together, but without holding on to the word concern because they think it's normal. The grabber dialogue is the #1 most important dialogue that you must get verbatim, you must not deviate, and you must handle them on. Okay? If you want to say something to them, say it. I'd rather have to teach you to say it in a better way than have you not say it. Truth and love without being disrespectful, but confronting the truth of the situation and not deviating from it. That's what a lot of things I'm noticing is missing, is just the honest confrontation and telling them it's not okay. Telling them it's not normal. You know, say, I understand how you feel, but that's not a normal thing to have. Being able to confront that with them and being able to say that with confidence. Pain is pain and it's not okay. Doesn't matter how long they've had it. Doesn't matter if they only say it comes and goes. You got to get specific data from them because they are not confronting it themselves, and you have to help and control them to do it. Not force, but control. High positive control to get them to see that this is a problem. Okay? Truth and love, guys. You know? Like I said with Matt there. You know, it doesn't seem like something you're interested in, that's totally fine, because I can give your certificate to somebody that might want to bring in a friend or spouse. So is this something you want to use? Because 45 minutes of the doctor's time is really important to me. That's not being rude. It's not being nasty. The doctor's time is valuable. And if they don't show up because they're not sure about doing it, that's 3 adjustments that doctor could have had, and he lost at least $120 by that person no showing. You've got to hold you're the gate. Think of yourselves, guys, this is funny, I just thought it. Think of yourselves as the gatekeeper that we're always talking about having to get past. Right? You let people that are qualified get past you and on that schedule. I'd rather you schedule 10 and have them all be qualified than schedule 20, or I'm sorry, than one and that want to be there, than have 20 that and have 5 show up. What it comes down to is confrontation. That means, I want to put this on here for recording. Confront is to face without flinching or avoiding, or to stand in opposition to. Doesn't mean some, big fight, or big emotional outburst. It just means stand in opposition to it, right? Face without flinching or avoiding. Face the fact that these people have problems and that they are problems and they're symptoms and they're not okay, no matter what they say, okay? Any other questions you guys have? Because that was actually the end of the time that we have, and I'm glad we actually got some of those things on there. But if you have other questions, type them in. I'll get to them in the last few minutes I have. But I'm going to go ahead and end on the recording and send it off to get recorded or uploaded to the website. And we'll see you guys on the next one, okay?